I was folding shirts into the suitcase when Maria touched my arm. Our housekeeper for 6 years. Never spoke unless spoken to. Now her fingers were trembling against my sleeve. Please don't go. I stopped. Looked at her. Her eyes were wet, darting toward the hallway where my wife was on the phone. What are you talking about? The trip. Don't go to Rome. Just trust me. She released my arm and walked away quickly, disappearing into the laundry room before I could respond. My wife appeared in the doorway, smiling. Almost ready? The car comes at 6 tomorrow. Almost. She'd planned this for weeks. A surprise anniversary trip. First-class tickets. A hotel overlooking the Colosseum. She'd been excited, affectionate, attentive in ways she hadn't been for months. I should have been grateful. Instead, I kept hearing Maria's voice. That night I couldn't sleep. I ran through explanations. Maybe Maria was confused. Maybe she'd overheard something out of context. But Maria didn't make mistakes. At 4 a.m. I made a decision. I texted our neighbor, David, a retired cop who owed me a favor. Need to use your guest room. Can't explain. One day. He replied immediately, doors open. At 5:30 I loaded my suitcase into the Uber. Waved at my wife through the window. Drove 3 blocks, paid the driver double and walked back through the alley. David let me in through his side door. What's going on? I don't know yet. I positioned myself at his upstairs window. Perfect view of my driveway. Then I waited. The black van arrived at 9:47 a.m. No markings. Tinted windows. It parked across the street, engine running. My wife came out first. She wasn't crying. Wasn't panicked. She was on her phone, nodding, scanning the street. Then Marcus stepped out of the van. My brother. I watched him walk up my driveway like he owned it. Watched my wife hug him. Not a polite hug. A familiar one. 2 other men exited the van. Both large. Both wearing gloves in 70-degree weather. They entered my house. I pulled out my phone. Opened the security camera app I'd installed last year. My wife didn't know about the motion-activated cameras in the garage, the office, the bedroom. I watched the live feed. They went straight to my office. Marcus opened my desk drawer, pulled out the external hard drive where I kept encrypted backups of everything. Business files, investment accounts, property deeds, passwords. One of the men opened a laptop. Started cloning the drive. My wife stood in the doorway, arms crossed. Watching. How long? She asked. 20 minutes, Marcus said. Then we're done. And the lawyer confirmed the insurance payout? Marcus smiled. It's already in motion. Accidental death abroad. No investigation. You'll have everything. She nodded. What about Maria? We'll handle her. I stopped breathing. I rewound the footage. Played it again. Accidental death abroad. They weren't robbing me. They were erasing me. I took screenshots. Recorded the screen. Backed everything up to 3 different cloud accounts. Then I called someone I'd hoped I'd never need. His name was on a business card I'd been given 2 years ago. A client who'd mentioned casually that he handled problems for people who couldn't go to the police. I never thought I'd use it. I texted the number, need consultation. Urgent. Willing to pay. The reply came in 30 seconds, address. I sent it. 2 hours. I sat in David's guest room. Watched the cameras. Marcus and his crew left at 10:15. My wife locked up. Got in her car. Drove away. I didn't move. At noon, a man knocked on David's door. Late 50s. Suit. Calm eyes. He didn't introduce himself. David let him up. Show me what you have. I played the footage. All of it. Explained the Rome trip. The timing. The insurance policy I'd signed 6 months ago when my wife suggested we update our coverage. He watched without expression. When it finished, he leaned back. Your brother's involved. That complicates feelings. I don't have feelings about this. He studied me. Good. What do you want? I want them to believe it worked. Then I want them destroyed. Legally or? Legally. I want them in prison. He nodded. You'll need to disappear for a while. Make them think you're dead. Give them time to move assets, collect payouts, celebrate. They'll get sloppy. How long? 2 weeks. Maybe 3. And then? Then we introduce evidence they can't explain away. He stood. I'll need access to your accounts, your lawyer, your files. Everything. I handed him a USB drive. It's all here. He pocketed it. Stay here. Don't contact anyone. I'll be in touch. He left. I sat in the silence. Pulled up the security feed again. My wife was back home. Smiling. Texting someone. I watched her pour a glass of wine. Not yet. The man's name was Garrett. Former federal investigator. Now private. He called that evening. I've reviewed everything. You have enough for fraud, conspiracy, attempted murder. But we need them to act. Right now it's just talk. What do you need? A body. Silence. Not a real one, he clarified. We stage your death. Overseas. Make it messy enough that dental records are required. I have contacts in Italy. We'll create paperwork, police reports, a closed investigation. It'll take 5 days. And my wife. She'll file the claim. We let the insurance company start processing. Your brother will move assets. They'll think they're safe. What about Maria? I sent someone to check on her. She's fine. Scared but fine. We moved her to a safe location. She's willing to testify. I exhaled. Start packing, Garrett said. You're leaving tonight. I stayed in Rome for 12 days. Not at a hotel, at a private residence Garrett arranged. No phone. No internet. No contact. Every 3 days, Garrett sent updates via encrypted messages delivered by courier. Day 3, wife filed claim. $2.3 million policy. Day 6, brother transferred $180,000 from your business account to offshore LLC. Day 9, wife sold rental property. Forged your signature. Sale closed yesterday. Day 12, they're planning to leave the country. We move in 48 hours. I read each message once. Burn them. On day 13, Garrett arrived in person. It's time, he said. Your lawyer's ready. The FBI's involved now. Wire fraud, insurance fraud, forgery. We have enough. What about Marcus? He's the linchpin. He coordinated everything. The hired men were contract workers. They've already flipped. And my wife? Garrett smiled. It wasn't warm. She's about to have a very bad morning. I flew back under a different name. Landed at 2 a.m. Garrett had an apartment waiting. Sterile, temporary, perfect. Don't contact anyone yet, he said. We're executing warrants tomorrow at dawn. You'll stay here until it's done. I want to see it happen. No. I wasn't asking. He considered me. Then nodded. Surveillance van. You stay inside. No exceptions. At 5:30 a.m., we parked 3 houses down from mine. The van was unmarked, filled with monitors showing live feeds from 6 angles. Federal agents surrounded the house. At 6 a.m. they knocked. My wife answered in a robe. Hair perfect. She looked confused, then terrified as they pushed inside. FBI. Search warrant. Step aside. I watched her face cycle through emotions, shock, fear, calculation. She reached for her phone. Don't touch that. They cuffed her. Read her rights. She didn't cry. Marcus was arrested at his apartment simultaneously. I watched that feed too. He fought. Yelled about lawyers. They dragged him out. By 8 a.m. both were in federal custody. By 9, agents had seized computers, phones, financial records, the forged documents from the property sale. Garrett's phone buzzed. He listened, then hung up. Your wife just asked for a deal. Tried to blame everything on Marcus. Will it work? No. We have her on tape discussing your death. Signing forged documents. Collecting the first insurance payout installment. I nodded. When do I come back? Tonight. We'll stage your return. Make it public. The story is you were in a coma after an accident. Just woke up. Saw the news about your own death. Perfect. At 6 p.m. I walked into a police station. Cameras everywhere. Reporters already tipped off. I gave my name. The desk sergeant's face went white. Call the FBI, I said. Tell them Ethan Marshall is alive. The news broke within an hour. Man declared dead returns. Wife and brother arrested for fraud and conspiracy. My phone, my real phone, reactivated, exploded with messages. Friends, colleagues, relatives. I ignored them all. I went home. The house was exactly as I'd left it. Except now it was a crime scene. Yellow tape. Fingerprint dust. Evidence markers. A detective met me at the door. Mr. Marquis, sorry Mr. Marshall. We need to ask you some questions. Of course. They took me downtown. Recorded everything. I explained the trip, the warning, the decision to investigate quietly. I showed them the security footage I'd archived. Why didn't you come to us immediately? One detective asked. Because I needed proof. And I needed them to act. They didn't like that answer. But they couldn't argue with results. I was released at midnight. The next morning my lawyer called. Your wife's attorney is requesting a meeting. She wants to talk. No. She's offering information. Says Marcus planned everything. She was coerced. She discussed my death like a business transaction. I watched the footage. Silence. Do you want to press charges separately? Civil suit. Everything. I want every legal option on the table. Done. I hung up. Drove to Marcus's apartment. The landlord had already boxed his belongings, standard procedure for arrested tenants. I found his laptop in a box labeled electronics. Took it. At home I opened it. No password. Marcus always thought he was smarter than security protocols. I found a folder labeled projects. Inside, detailed plans. Timelines. Contacts for the men he'd hired. Drafts of forged documents. Photos of my office, my files, my daily routine. This had been planned for 11 months. I copied everything. Sent it to my lawyer, to Garrett, to the FBI agent handling the case. Then I found one more file. A contract. Signed by Marcus and my wife. They'd agreed to split everything 50-50 after my death. I stared at it. Not anger. Just cold certainty. They were done. The arraignment was scheduled for Monday. I arrived early. Sat in the back row. My wife was brought in first. Orange jumpsuit. No makeup. She scanned the courtroom, saw me and froze. Our eyes met. She looked away. Marcus came next. He tried to look defiant. Chin up. But his hands shook when they removed the cuffs for the hearing. The prosecutor stood. Your Honor, the government is charging both defendants with conspiracy to commit murder, wire fraud, insurance fraud, and forgery. We have extensive documented evidence, including recorded conversations and forged financial documents. My wife's attorney stood. Your Honor, my client was coerced by her brother-in-law. She had no knowledge of. The prosecutor cut in. We have video of the defendant discussing life insurance payouts and explicitly asking about the timeline of her husband's death. She was an active participant. The judge reviewed the brief. Looked up. Bail? The government requests remand. Both defendants are flight risks. Mrs. Marshall sold property and transferred funds in preparation to leave the country. The judge didn't hesitate. Denied. Both defendants remanded pending trial. My wife's face crumbled. She turned, looking for me again. I stood. Walked out before she could speak. In the hallway the prosecutor found me. We're offering a plea. 15 years for your wife, 20 for your brother. No deal. Mr. Marshall, trials are unpredictable. No. Deal. She studied me. Then nodded. Understood. The trial started 6 weeks later. It lasted 8 days. Maria testified. The hired men testified. Financial experts testified. I testified on day 7. My wife stared at me the entire time. I never looked at her. The jury deliberated for 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. Marcus got 32 years. Federal prison. No parole. My wife got 25. I attended the sentencing. Said nothing. The judge asked if I wanted to make a statement. I stood. No, Your Honor. Sat back down. The business survived after I removed Marcus from all accounts and filed civil suits to recover stolen funds. I won every case. Seized his assets. His car. His apartment equity. Everything. My wife's family tried to contact me. I blocked them. Her attorney sent letters requesting visitation rights, reconciliation talks, reduced sentences. I burned them. Maria came back to work. I tripled her salary. Set up a trust for her daughter's education. Thank you, she said quietly one morning. You saved my life. She nodded. Went back to folding laundry. I sold the house. Too many goes. Bought a loft downtown with a view of the city. Started over. One evening I received a letter. Prison postmark. My wife's handwriting. I held it for a long time. Then I threw it away unopened. Some doors once closed stay that way. I rebuilt everything they tried to take. They'll be old when they're released. I'll be thriving.